Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Stanfield Hunting Outfitters. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
That is right. And before we get started, hold on a second. Hold on.
This ought to be interesting.
No, nothing.
We got some dead air here, so I guess I'll fill it in. Whatever it's doing now, we could have done earlier, but... This is not the way to start a podcast.
I need you to notarize this. This is my official fantasy football lineup for the playoffs.
Well, you shouldn't announce it because some people haven't even turned theirs in yet.
Who hasn't
Nobody's stealing
announced
from
it?
me. I haven't done mine. Your little brother hadn't done his.
Well, then quit fucking looking at it then.
That's what I thought.
Never mind. When does this have to be turned in then? I thought it had to be turned in today.
Today. It's fucking 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's fucking today, and I don't understand why people haven't got it turned in.
Oh, because I told them they
Which
had
little
today.
brother is playing?
Payne's playing.
Oh. He might be pretty salty. He's got time on his side.
Yes. What's with the ensemble today? For everybody on YouTube, Andy's in a full suit.
I thought you were going to be wearing your cocksucker hat, and I thought, well, I'd wear mine, and we'd all look like cocksuckers together. And today, you're not even wearing yours.
No, I'm wearing some shorts, Columbia shorts, some Columbia shoes, because it's 75 degrees today. I am wearing...
It's 50 right now.
...my blind grass shirt that Jay Thomas sent me that I really like, and I'm not wearing a hat today.
I mean, you didn't have to list off everything that you were wearing, but...
Well, I didn't. I'm underdressed compared to you. You look like you're going to a Scottish pub to have a stout.
Boy, that would be nice.
Or
right
a
now.
pint.
I would love that right now.
I saw this morning where Mexico is going to do away with all testing.
What does that mean?
I don't know, because Mom pointed out to me, she goes, we didn't have to test in Mexico. We just had to test when we come back from Mexico. But supposedly they're doing away with all COVID vaccinations. I've got two friends that I have that are in the hospital right now. One's in ICU. Another one's in ICU. Both pretty sick. Both vaccinated. Both of them.
Right.
Everybody I know that's in the hospital that is really sick right now is vaccinated.
Let me look at this. Canadian Ontario said, let me see if I can find it. This is all off the cuff here. Okay. In hospital, but not the ICU. Unvaccinated cases, 457. Partially vaccinated, 115. Fully vaccinated, 1353. That is according to COVID-19 Ontario, COVID-19.ontario.ca.
Let me look at that so I can more of a visual person on that.
Let me see if I can send it.
I don't need you to send it. I just want to look at your phone.
I'll try to put it up there.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying, Jeff. We've got all these capabilities now. We might as well use them. Okay.
I see the same. There we go, right there.
Can you read it?
Unvaccinated. So is that a pie chart and the colors I just can't see?
Yeah, because that's on the phone you can see. That's
so
more
fully
that's
vaccinated,
more of a peach color.
Okay, fully vaccinated is 3 times than the vaccinated.
Right. It's more of a peach. It's just tough to see.
I'm good. I can see everything right now where you're at.
You know, your phone, your camera. Yeah, your camera.
Okay, I can still see what I need to see though. The hospital, but not the ICU. The fully vaccinated make up 60% of it.
Right, basically, in layman's terms.
Well,
but that's that's Canadian for you.
I know a lot of people now that are dealing with COVID. We have it in our town here, but I don't know very many people that are really sick. But the people I know that are really, really sick are all people that have been vaccinated.
Yeah,
and I don't understand how many times you're going to keep let them jab your ass, and you realize you're the one that keeps getting sick.
Jab them. And I don't understand why your camera keeps fucking up, Jeff.
I don't know whether my camera's fucked up. It looks pretty good to me.
No, it keeps flashing. It does it every fucking time.
It's flat. What do you mean it's flashing?
It goes on and off. On and off, on and off, on.
So the new studio is going to have built-in cameras?
I don't know.
Do they have a thing called built-in cameras?
No.
It's not.
It's always something.
Total January clusterfuck.
Always something.
We just finished shooting up our series for YouTube. We just did the last parts of it last week. with Rick Keller. Very excited about that. We guess we have to come up with a name for it still.
I've got a couple.
Do you have a couple names? Okay, good.
I've got a couple.
All
We're
right.
going to have to bounce them off of you, see what you think.
Are you going to bounce one of them off of me now?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm not that confident in them.
Why?
Well, because, I mean, they're all going to suck until you get to the one that you want. And, like, we're in the first phase of sucky names. So.
Throw one at me and let me see.
A foul family.
Well, I actually like that.
Because I wanted. So my idea.
That's terrible.
A foul family.
Okay.
You want to tie. Okay, so here's what it is. You want to tie in the family aspect of it because it's not going to be your typical hunting show. It's going to show more of the lodge life, more of
the real life of being in the hunting business.
Well, not just that. It's just hunting. Just like this podcast, hunting is a common thread of everything that we do. So you want family of some sort. What's another word for family? What's a family synonym?
Assholes.
So, yeah, you could do that. I did a waterfowling family, waterfowlers family. Let me look up. What's a synonym?
I like foul family. I do.
Falks had an idea.
What's that?
Let me see if I can find it. Maybe.
Anyways, this series.
Because here's, I mean,
the series we're going to have is not just shooting them and stacks them dead birds falling. It's going to be the whole
waterfowl family in Texas. That's a mouthful, though.
That's too far.
It's a mouthful. You want something punchy, but not. You don't want word salad like Kamala Harris said the other day. Family synonym. Let's see what a synonym to family is. Household menage. Put that one. Nuclear family, brood, genealogy, bloodline, foul bloodline, waterfowl bloodline,
No.
lineage, descent, ancestry, parentage, birth, pedigree, genealogy.
So far, foul family is my favorite.
Well, Stoner said he didn't like it. He said it was awful.
Well, it's okay.
But that's the hardest part of anything is fucking naming it. It's a horrible process.
So far I like that one better than anything.
Well, it's the first. It's the first. Oh no.
What's right?
Blake says this is not looking good.
That's not good then.
It was a private message to me.
Oh.
He must not want you to panic yet. But anyway, and the naming of this podcast was very original. The Big Honker Lodge, or the Big Honker Lodge, Big Honker Podcast. So it's not like I stepped out onto a limb whenever came up with a name for this one. So I don't know. We got time.
Well, I am looking
Now,
for
when are you wanting to release this?
I think we need to release probably in April.
No.
Too early or too late?
Way too early.
When do we need to release it then?
July 15th.
I think it's way too late.
No. April, nobody gives a flying fuck about waterfowl hunting.
Okay.
Not one fuck. Everybody's wanting to turkey hunt. Everybody's wanting to go fishing. Then May, nobody's really paying attention because school's letting out.
I think June.
Everybody goes.
At least
everybody
June.
goes on vacation in June. When 4th of July is over, people's minds turn to the fall. They turn the page. They're over summer by the time July 5th rolls around.
I say
So you do July 15th. It runs the last 2 weeks of July, and then into August. People are getting excited about hunting season, and they are watching.
I don't know about all that.
Really?
How
Well,
about,
give me
Lone Star Fowl Family?
No.
Too long?
I don't like that at all. Why do you think April? If you don't like, I at least gave you reasons. You're just going off of emotions because that was your first guess is to do it in April.
I think April is a good time because we start filling in anyways, and I think I would rather have all my business start doing April and May. May is my slowest month. The whole month for the whole year for me, the slowest month for me is May.
What's that got to do with when people are going to watch a YouTube?
I think people are going to watch YouTube anyways. But by May, people are wanting to watch waterfowl stuff anyways. I understand your logic on July 15th or July 6th even. But in May, when May's here, is my slow time. And when
what does that have to do? Go ahead.
Fix
Go
the
ahead.
finish, Michelle.
I'm
So let
sorry.
me
I'm
finish.
sorry.
When business, when we're slow, if we release that, I'll fill in, and that'll make my July and August a lot easier. So I won't have no fun. I won't have to call nobody back just because we'll be sold out everything. That's why I would like to do it in late April, May.
For bookings,
Just for the finish up the bookings I'm done. I mean, we're
not
about,
necessarily
we're over
that
half.
not necessarily that it's the best time for people to watch a waterfowl show,
I think people will watch it
but
regardless.
for your books.
For my books, it would be easier. It would be better for me in May. The only thing I got then is chasing tornadoes.
That's interesting.
Because that's my slowest month. March, February, I start sending out all my dove invoices. In March, I start sending out waterfowl and everything we've got booked for. I send out dove and deer in February. I start sending out my waterfowl stuff in March. Usually I'm finished sending out my waterfowl stuff by April because it takes me about a month to get all the invoices and everything sent out because I go and I start early and I go in. So if you booked at the end of January, you're probably not going to get your invoice till the end of March. April and May, I don't really do much. I answer the phone, talk to people and stuff, but I don't do a lot in May. Once June gets here, the phone starts picking up more and more.
Right.
Sales pick up June, July, August, September. It goes big, and then by the time November gets here, we're sold out. So
right.
there's nothing
So
left.
that would make sense as to why you would release it when people are thinking about waterfowl hunting. Maybe in May nobody's thinking about waterfowl hunting, and when you're only going to get one release at this thing. And if you release it in May and nobody watches it because nobody's giving a shit about waterfowl hunting, you're not going to be able to put the cat back in the bag.
I don't want to be out of town on vacation when we release it either, though, because I don't want to spend my whole vacation on the phone or on the computer.
When are you going to be on vacation in July?
You and us and all of us are going somewhere, Maine or somewhere.
Okay, so release it after vacation then. You're only going to get one release.
I know, and I'm only going to get 3 or 4 vacations.
You're only going to get one release, and if you release it too early and nobody watches.
I think people are going to watch anyways. That's fine. If you want to go, if you think July's it, that's fine.
I'm glad you saw it my way.
I think at least June.
I'm glad you saw it my way.
I think at least June.
People are vacationing in June.
People vacation in June, July, and August.
No, in August, school's starting back up.
Hold on.
School's starting back up.
Listen, you don't ever listen. You just talk a lot. Listen to me. You check the places that are vacation destinations. Their vacation season starts around June 15th and ends about August 15th. All the big resorts everywhere up north, they're busier in June up until about late. School starts earlier now, so around August 15th. But a lot of schools don't get out till June, so their vacation season don't start till middle of June. If you think about it, we were in Michigan in the middle of June last year, and it was just their season was just starting. We were there at the first of it because a lot of kids are still in school. So June vacation is not true on what you're saying on that. There's more people vacationing July 15th than they are June 15th.
I'm going to look it up.
Look, well, of course you are, and you're going to go, oh, just right.
I just think that April's way too early.
That's fine. We'll go with July 15th.
The later the better.
Nope, that's fine.
Make them sweat, Jeff.
Okay.
If we release it in September, I wouldn't mind.
Well, we're not doing that.
June through August, November and December. Look at there. November and December are popular months at the Four Seasons destinations.
You're looking at Four Seasons? Once you look at people that don't have
at the Four Seasons, like places that don't have not the hotel.
Okay.
Like places that it's always fucking summer.
No, I'm not talking about just places for summer. I'm just talking about vacation in general.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why people in November and December they go to the fucking Caribbean where it's always summertime. That's what I'm talking about.
What the fuck does that have to do with our deal?
It doesn't. I thought it was interesting that November and December are popular vacation months. That's all I was saying. That's it. God, why you're so difficult today. Difficult.
Jesus Christ. You should have had a vagina.
Well, it's not too late.
Well, that's true. It is 2021 or 2022. You can go get you one.
And our fucking numbers would probably go up that way if I did.
No, because we wouldn't get along very well at all. You're already a little bitch now. I can't imagine if you had a vagina how big a bitch you'd be.
That's ugly.
That's true.
Ugly. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. But if you want to make it easier on you and then release it too early, then we can go May or June.
So what we're looking at for everyone that still with us after all this shit, is we are releasing a video YouTube series coming out that we have not named that will be the life and times around the Big Honker the Big Honker Lodge. Everything from doing the podcast, the guides, family dynamics, meals, hunts, good hunts, bad hunts, all the shits, all the trials and tribulations of a waterfowl season with us. To be followed next year with a bigger production, with more cameras and bigger crew and a more in-depth series.
If this goes well.
If this goes well. And then the third season, we will be on Netflix or Amazon Prime. So just be prepared for that.
That's lofty, Jeff.
Cashing checks and breaking necks.
Lofty. Netflix, you really think Netflix is going to pick up another hunting show?
I don't have a clue. They don't have a
Or
hunting
Amazon, being Jeff Bezos? Do they even have
I don't know if they do or not. There is definitely a market for it, though. This is going to be the real deal, too. This is no pre-made-up bullshit. It's the real hunt and the real thing, everything that goes with it.
Boy, I wish it would have been pre-made.
Do you? How would you have done it different? Who would play you, Andy? If we had to pick an actor to play, who would you pick? I can't wait to hear this.
I'm not old enough for Brad Pitt to play me. Matthew McConaughey's probably too old. Maybe Chris Pratt. I think he's a hunter anyway. He probably...
I don't know who Chris Pratt is.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, Michelle, I don't know who Chris Pratt is. Who is
I'm going to show you, and you're going to be like, oh, I know who
What's
Chris
he
Pratt
in?
is. Parks and Rec.
I've never seen Parks and Rec.
That is Chris Pratt. Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah, I know who he is.
I seriously don't know who he is.
It's a body double right there.
Yeah.
There would have to be, he'd have to get in that kind of shape, though, to play me. Doesn't that look like his face is, like, plastered on there?
Well, I'm sure it is. It's fake pick. Go down.
No, he got fucking
spin down to the bathing suit that you wear. No, to the right. Go to the right. Go to the left now.
Oh.
Right there. That looks more like you, Andy. That does, right there. That looks exactly like you. I think you got them fucking trunks too, don't you, at my house?
They're pretty close.
I think that's close. So that dude, he does look like you there. The one on the right doesn't look like you. That looks like your little brother Zach on the right. That doesn't look like you. Oh, that's good. We know who's going to play you then, Chris Pratt.
There you go. He's a hunter too, so he would fall right into the role.
Hold on, I got to get this.
Oh no, that's never good.
Hello. Okay.
And we're back. He lost 60 pounds in 6 months to play because he was a little pudgy fella in Parks and Rec, and then he got an Avengers role and he had to get fucking shredded. So
I still don't know who he is.
Well,
that's good. Chris Pratt is going to play Andy Shaver, and
who would play you?
Oh fuck.
John Candy's dead.
That's who I would thought. That's who I would have picked also.
Are there any
fat guys?
Are there any husky actors anymore?
Husky actors. Yeah, that one little fat fuck I can't stand, that dope smoking dude. Oh fuck.
They all smoke dope.
The guy that's in
Cheech?
No.
Chong.
God, no. What the hell's his name? Not Zach Galifianakis, one of them guys. What's that guy's name that was in?
Zach Galifianakis.
I don't know.
Like you. You need a husky bald fella.
No, the guy that was at Motherfather. Wasn't in Superbad or one of them shows. Where they sold the military, the rockets and all that shit to the Motherfather. What's the guy's name?
Sold the rockets.
Yeah, he was an arms dealer.
Nicolas Cage?
No, fuck no. It's one of the younger fat guys, the kids.
Okay, well, young fat.
What?
Jonah Hill?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was
young
about.
fat guy ain't gonna work for you, and he's not fat anymore. He lost a bunch of weight also.
He's a prick anyways. I don't like him. James Gandolfini's dead.
Well, he's dead.
All the guys that could play me are dead. Fat bald guys.
Fat bald actor. There's plenty of fat bald guys. You can find anybody there. Fat bald actors. There we go. You could get there you go. Brian Baumgartner from The Office.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
George Costanza?
Fuck no. Fuck that little weasel too.
Well,
trying to find any fat guys. Is there any cool fat guys anymore? Or are they all gone?
Mike Tyson. You get Mike Tyson to play you.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Danny DeVito.
There's not many. No. Paul Giamatti. He might work.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway.
No, I cannot stand that little bastard.
Well, it's not about who you can stand. Oh, there you go. The guy from Breaking Bad, the brother-in-law.
There you go.
I don't know his name, but he could play you.
The Rock.
Yeah,
you go.
there we go.
We
We got
The
The
Rock.
Rock.
Yep. Ron, or what's his name? The porn actor.
Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy.
He's in jail.
Yeah, well, he'd get out.
You'd have to bust him out.
Michael Chiklis or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
All right.
That was an underestimated series. Not underestimated.
Which one?
The Shield was very good for its time.
I tell everybody, somebody asked me the other day, a really good series that hasn't been out in a long time, if you want to go back and watch one, was The Fire Show.
Rescue Me.
Rescue Me. That is a great freaking series.
Yes. One of the best.
I would highly recommend it for anyone that wants to watch a really good series. If you're going to be locked up with COVID for 14 days, watch this.
It's not 14 days anymore. It's 5.
It's 5 days now?
Yep. As per, I think the CDC said that.
No good for the CDC.
So by next year, it will be 0.
Yeah. Did you see where Dr. Bill Gates come out and said that?
Next year, the quarantine time will be 0?
Nope. He come out and said that this year, the COVID is bad. The version coming out next year will be like the common flu and won't cause any problems no more. Well, how does that fucker know that?
Because he knows basic virology.
Oh, yeah, he's a virologist.
No,
yeah,
I mean, if you look at things...
No, he knows that because he's in on the people that fucking come up with this shit.
If you just look at history, the first wave of stuff is bad. And then as people get immune to it, or as people build up antibodies to it, whenever it hits again, it's not as significant.
This one here now has killed more people now than the one before did.
Omicron?
There's more people dying and sick in the hospital.
There's nobody that's died. There's nobody that's died from Omicron.
They said there was a kid in Houston that
There's nobody that's died from.
So what are they dying from now then?
I don't think.
Just a regular COVID?
Let me look, but I'm pretty sure that nobody has died from the Omicron variant.
Well, I don't know what variant they have. There's been 3 or 4 of them already, but there's more people in the sick hospital that are dying right now than there are when this started. And all I'm saying is now Bill Gates knows the next one is not going to be bad. It's going to be like the flu and we won't have to worry about it no more because he was in with the fucking people that come up with this shit. You don't think he's fucking crooked as fuck? I think he has a God complex.
Omicron cases soar, but deaths on the decline, White House says.
Deaths on the decline. So that tells me people are dying from it then.
I still
You made a statement that said no one's died from it.
And I still stand by that statement. I don't think anybody has.
Well, why don't you just ask, has anyone died from Omicron? I'm going to bet you money right now they did. I'll bet you the rest of your paychecks the rest of the year that someone's died. Double or nothing right now. Do you want to bet it?
Hold on.
That's what I thought.
Here we go.
Has anyone died from Omicron? My computer's listening to me. The UK has had 14 deaths.
Well, we don't care about them.
So it's only people that die in the United States. It says at least one death due to the variant in the United States.
One death, okay.
At least
so
one
I was
death,
wrong.
it said.
One.
Well, one didn't.
One.
None and one is you lost.
One person may have died from Omicron. One person may have died. Maybe.
Well, I don't know.
So
but
like
I know there's more people dying right now.
So I'm going to go back on my hill, and I'm going to say that nobody has died from Omicron.
Well, there's 75 people have died in Europe, but you don't count those, right?
Why would I count those?
Okay. I just read a deal right now that 75 people have died in Europe.
Not my goat, not my farm.
Point is,
I quit caring about them in 1776.
We as a society have given a free pass to whoever started this shit. They've done nothing to them. Ever since Trump got out of office, it's nothing about China being responsible or nothing. And them fuckers come up with this, but they come up with it part of the deep state, and fuck all them bastards. Okay. I just saw something interesting I was going to talk to you about. Did you see the week Joe Biden's had this week?
No. Jeff, I've barely seen the week that I've had this week.
Well, Joe Biden, this week alone, inflation is at a 39-year high.
Good job.
With more people in the hospital and dying from coronavirus, COVID, whatever the fuck it is.
But not Omicron.
Whatever it is, since he's been in office.
Omicron, I think is how you pronounce it.
His own party nixed his filibuster rule he was trying to change. The Supreme Court yesterday knocked down his vaccine mandates. And his approval rating is 33%.
81 million.
Which is the lowest of any sitting president, I think, in 470 years. My question to you is, who the fuck are those 33% that still think he's doing a good job?
Yeah, they're obviously probably the deep state. Whoever that is.
Do you think we'll ever go without mask?
We're going without mask right now, Jeff.
I'm talking about planes and nationwide.
Yes.
You think? How long do you think until that happens?
November 17th of 2022.
November 17th. So when after the election, after a little time after the election, you think we'll be done with masks?
Yep.
But you think they'll make us wear masks until then?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't understand the thoughts with some of the smart people I see that wear a mask. It shocks me.
What do you mean?
Well, anyone with half a brain knows if you put a piece of fabric over your nose and you can smell through it, that it's not helping prevent you from getting disease.
I don't know, bub. People are wearing masks, and they're happy with it. So if they want to wear a mask, God bless them.
I went to the funeral the other day. There was one person wearing a mask in there. Mm-hmm. He wore a mask the whole time. Got done sitting, wearing a mask. Then gets down on the gym floor to walk to see the family and takes his mask off and walks through. What the fuck did that do? Why'd you wear your mask your whole time?
Well, he didn't want to give somebody who didn't know COVID. He's fine giving it to people as he hugs them.
But I thought that was kind of funny that he would wear a mask the whole fucking time sitting by himself, but then gets done and walks down on the floor and then takes it off to walk by.
Well, none of it's supposed to make sense, Jeff.
Well, that damn sure didn't.
No.
Absolutely at all. I'm at a loss right here, right now. I was going to ask you something. I forgot what it was.
Did you see Mother give her interviews? Were they any good?
I did not watch any of it.
Oh.
Are you nervous about her doing it?
Yeah,
What are you worried about your mom saying?
Well, she's a little blonde, Jeff. She said she struggled through them.
That makes me nervous now. If you wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't have been worried about it.
She was like, yeah, just having to rephrase the question as the answer, and it threw her off. We'll see. And my wife, God bless her, love her to death, she gets stage fright.
What'd she do?
But I don't know. She wasn't, she said she was nervous. Didn't think she would be nervous, and then she got nervous. Camera gets on you, and everybody freezes up. Not good. I bet Blake's are funny.
I bet they're too. I'm going to go back to politics for a minute. Did you see where the RNC basically said they're not doing any more presidential debates until they get a level playing field? They should.
What would be a level playing field?
Joe Rogan or someone like that actually asking the questions instead of a biased.
I don't think anybody wants a Joe Rogan.
Well, no,
because here's the deal: if you Joe Rogan offered his time, he said, "I'll do 3 hours. I'll have President Trump, then Vice President Biden. We'll sit down and we'll talk for 3 hours." I love Trump to death. Trump is he has mastered getting the soundbite out. He is a master of the way traditional media used to be. You go out there, you say some salacious shit, it gets picked up by everybody, and whether you agree with him or disagree with him, it's wall-to-wall coverage of what he said, who he's taken down. I think he's a very brilliant guy, business-wise. But I think if anybody kind of got to dig a little bit, I'm not sure how it would go.
I think you're wrong.
You think I'm wrong?
I think
policy-wise he would be...
Yes.
Interesting.
Because he was pretty transparent on his policy, and it was working for America, and he was America first. And I don't think that message would resonate bad. I would love to hear the other side, who has no fucking plans for anything but more government, more government, more government, sit down and get someone and be transparent and get to ask them questions that aren't softball questions.
Right.
They avoided Joe Biden's and his son stuff and all this shit in the Ukraine and all this shit. It's funny. Everything the media and the Democrats want to say about the Republicans and Donald Trump is exactly what they're doing. And they're doing the same thing. Just like now it's voter fraud. Well, they're the fuckers that's committed voter fraud. It's kind of like being a bank robber and then telling everybody your neighbor robbed a bank.
Right.
Because that's what they do. Mm-hmm. Anything happens. So, no, I don't think so. I think that Trump would have done wonderful at that.
3-hour-long interview.
Well, I don't know if I'd do 3 hours, but I'd like to have a true debate where someone that's unbiased asks questions. Or I would like to see a debate. We're going to have CNN do one. Let's do that. Then let Sean Hannity do one. And I'm not a Sean Hannity fan. But I would, because everybody that the Republicans get for a debate moderator is someone that has someone that works in the Democratic Party. Yeah, he's a fucking liberal. Every one of them. I don't want that. I want a true an unbiased. Or do this: have someone come up and say, be the host, and then let people ask questions from the audience, true audiences, not people that are staged. You know, Joe down at United, let him ask them questions from the grocery aisle. What would you like to see? Let real Americans ask questions. We don't get a real debate. We're going to have a debate in Knox City for Knox County for whoever's running for the offices here, and you can meet and greet and ask questions. Well, they're going to let citizens ask the questions. So there's going to be real questions.
Really?
It'll be a
When's
real
that going to happen?
I think it's January 17th. It's coming up next week or two.
I would love to go observe that.
What would you want to ask?
Oh, I wouldn't want to ask anything. I'd just like to watch it.
Oh. But
I'm here for the drama.
But, you know, I would have, when I was running for office, that wouldn't have bothered me because you're being honest and real questions. Well, these people that are running for offices now, they dodge all that shit. Unless you're a Republican, then you get real questions because it's a liberal deal. So I think it's fair. I've never understood why we did all that shit anyways. I mean, the Republicans are Trump. There's nothing to gain by doing that shit. The best thing ever in a fucking debate is when he told Hillary, "You'd be in jail." That was great. He stole that sumbitch from her every time.
That's what I'm saying. He's good at the one-liners that get picked up and all of a sudden they're everywhere.
But they need a true one, and they should all get asked true, real questions. You know, just like we're going to have Beto running for governor, a white guy, rich white guy, that's down with all the poor colored people.
Mm-hmm.
He is nothing but a fraud, just like the rest of the Democratic parties are. And it just wears me the fuck out. I know you don't follow Jameel Hill, do you?
No.
I was reading her on Twitter yesterday, and she is raising hell because there's only one black coach in the NFL right now.
Right. Well, they all got fired.
Well, hold on. How many black coaches are in the NFL coaching?
I think it was 4.
How many are there now? One. How many of the black coaches that are still coaching are in the playoffs this year? One.
Yeah,
maybe that's why he's kept his job.
Hold on.
Brian Flores done a good job. I think he fucked. I don't think they should have fired him.
Do you think David Culley deserved more than one year?
I don't understand the whole situation there, but yeah, I would probably not have fired him. I thought he did better than what they were expected to do with a young quarterback.
Hold on a second. What if Houston saw that Brian Flores is now available and that's who they want to go get?
I don't. 32 billionaires own a football team. Every one
white
of them.
Billionaires, Jeff. White billionaires.
No, that's not true. I don't think Shad Khan's white. So that'd be 31.
Well, there ain't a black one, Jeff.
Well, I can't help they haven't had enough.
That is not fair.
I can't help that they haven't had enough
I
money.
hope a black owner buys the Denver Broncos.
No, you don't. You don't.
Yes,
give a
I
shit.
do.
No, you don't. You're just trying to argue with me.
No,
you don't
I
give
hope a
two
black
fucks.
owner dies. I hope Herman Cain buys the Denver Broncos.
He's dead.
Well, he ought to be able to raise a lot of money that way.
But they act like, or not they.
Who is they? What do you mean by they?
Stephen Smith. People are just race baiters. Always trying to race bait. If I have enough money to buy the Denver Broncos, then by God, I'm going to hire whoever the fuck I want for a football coach. I don't give a shit what color they are. You know? How many Mexican head coaches are in the NFL right now?
Ron Rivera.
Okay, that's one. Okay. How many Chinese head football coaches are in the NFL? None. Has there ever been a Chinese head football coach? No. Has there been a woman head football coach? No.
God, I hope we get one in 2022. I hope we get one.
But you ought to be able to hire.
The glass ceiling is oppressive.
If you're one of those 32 people that own an NFL franchise, you ought to be able to hire whoever the fuck you want to. You shouldn't have to base it on color. Or am I saying there's not some black people that could be great head coaches? Yeah, because there's a lot of shitty white people that are head coaches that continue to get jobs, and I've never understood.
I don't understand that. Somebody said that Bill O'Brien's going to get a fucking job interview.
I don't.
Why would you give him a job interview?
I wouldn't. I would not. Maybe he interviews good. If I was a head coach, if I owned a football team right now, if I owned the New York Giants, I would call Brian Flores and I'd hire him tomorrow. In a heartbeat. I would call him right now and ask, what would you like? And you're going to be my head coach. I think he's a damn good head coach.
You're my man.
I like the guy that was at Tampa Bay before Bruce Arians. Rahm Emanuel.
Who?
Rahm Emanuel, was that who his name was? Or Morris. Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris?
I thought he was a good job.
No. Peterson's going to
I liked Anthony Lynn when he was at San Diego. He didn't do very good at San Diego, and Detroit just fired him as their offensive coordinator. He done just as good at San Diego as the guy they got now.
Mm-hmm.
But, there's a reason why nobody's hired Eric Bieniemy yet. And I don't know if he wants to stay at Kansas City and become their next head coach when Andy Reid retires. But he's a good coordinator. And just because you're a good coordinator doesn't mean you're a good head coach. But I get sick and tired of that. Well, they don't fire white guys, but they fire black guys. Marvin Lewis was a head coach for fucking 17 years or something and went to playoffs one time.
Right.
He was black. Art Shell was a good black coach. But it shouldn't be a skin color deal. But if you own the team, there's not anybody that owns the NFL team that wants to lose. Not one of them. So they fired Nick Saban, didn't they, from the NFL?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
But he got fired at the NFL. He's done pretty good, bounced back.
Says Byron Leftwich is probably going to get
an interview or two.
Okay, here we go.
Brian Flores and
Doug Peterson, that somebody's already said they're going to interview him. Leslie Frazier, I don't think he should get a job interview. I don't think he was good in Minnesota when they handed it over to him. Todd Bowles, now he was in the Jets, so maybe.
Would you interview Doug Peterson?
He's a Super Bowl winning head coach,
exactly
so
right.
Probably so.
Yes, he's
just
a winning coach.
That. Leslie Frazier, I would not give him a job interview. I didn't think he was great in Minnesota. Todd Bowles, he coached for the Jets. I'd probably give him a shot. Byron Leftwich has done a damn good job as the Buccaneers offensive coordinator.
Hold on, though. Let's stop right there with Byron Leftwich. I'm not knocking Byron Leftwich. He was their offensive coordinator when Jameis Winston was there. And he threw up some big numbers. He just made a lot of bad decisions. Tom Brady comes in, and it's awful good to look good when you got Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
But he done good with Jameis Winston. So I don't have a problem with Byron Leftwich at all. I would not hire Josh McDaniel from New England.
It doesn't even say he's on here.
Well, there's some people thinking he's going to get some interviews when their season's over. Where the NFL is screwed up, they shouldn't let anybody hire a head football coach till after the Super Bowl.
Why?
That way, everybody that's an assistant on all these teams gets a fair chance to interview if that's who you want to do. You should say, we're freezing all personnel from December 15th to February 15th on a head coach.
And then it says Dan Quinn, Brian Flores, Brian Dabble. I don't know who he is. But
that's another guy, if I was the Giants,
Bill's
I would probably hire. It's Dan Quinn. He went to the Super Bowl as Atlanta's head coach, lost. But he's good with the defense. Very good with that. I would rather have a defensive head coach than an offensive head coach.
I would give Brian Flores is going to get another head coaching job.
Yeah, they'd be fools not
100%. I think Byron Leftwich is going to get a head coaching job. How many job vacancies do we have?
The Giants are
1, 2,
open.
3, 4, 5,
Minnesota's
6, 7.
open. Chicago.
We have 8 job openings right here.
Okay. Would you say the NFL should hire 4 black guys, 8 black guys, 1 black guy, or just however many they think they want to hire?
What is 13% of 32?
Oh, fuck. 10 would be 4 people.
And we've already got 1.
But see, you shouldn't it shouldn't be a statistic. You should hire the best person for the job. If all 8 teams hire a black head coach, I don't care. If all 8 teams hire a white head coach, I don't care. If all of them hire a woman, I'm going to laugh my ass off. Because a woman cannot be head coach in the NFL.
If you're Brian Flores, where's the most desirable place?
Probably the New York Giants.
Oof. If you're Brian Flores,
mm-hmm.
He's a defensive guy.
They've got a good young defense.
I'd say Vegas.
No. I would not want to coach in Las Vegas for anything. That'd be the last place I would go. Over
Jacksonville?
Not because of the personnel. I just would not want to be a football coach in Las Vegas.
Jacksonville.
All the off-field shit would drive me fucking crazy as a coach.
I think Vegas and Miami are comparable.
No.
Yes.
The nightlife is a little bit...
Have you been to Miami, Jeff?
No, excuse me.
I've been to Miami, Jeff. I know the culture.
Yeah.
Bugattis and Range Rovers everywhere. I don't see that in Vegas.
Oh, there's a lot of that on the Strip.
Hell of a nightlife in Miami. You go down to that one street, bars everywhere.
On South Beach.
On the South Beach, Jeff.
I think
that's the place.
The Giants personnel with the Saquon Barkley, with young receivers. They've got a young quarterback. I think that would be a good job. The Bears, I would not go. I'm not a Bears person right now. I think they got a lot of problems.
Because they're all in on Justin Fields.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure Justin Fields is it. Denver Broncos is a good, solid, with a stable place.
Yeah, but they got Teddy Bridgewater. Their quarterback's not. That's the main thing here.
Okay, look at them. You got the Bears.
No, look at this. All of these guys.
Well, Derek Carr's a good quarterback.
Do not, except for them, because they would still have Gruden if all that shit happened.
Yeah, he's a good quarterback.
All of these teams right here have one common thread. The quarterback sucks.
If I was the New York Giants, I would hire Brian Flores, and this is what I would do. I would tell Brian Flores to get on the phone with the Houston Texans, and I would trade those 2 first-round draft picks for Deshaun Watson. And then I would go to the free agent market, and I'd sign the best 2 offensive linemen I could find. And that's all you'd have to do. And you would be a competitive football team, I think. Minnesota has got Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is like having the hot sister all your friends want to bang.
10-7 every year.
Just causes too many fucking issues. They might be 9-8 even, but I mean they're just good enough to not get a top draft pick to get another quarterback, and he's not good enough to win the big games. Miami Dolphins, man, they got Jalen Waddle's explosive. I'm just not sold on Tua. The Raiders have good deals. Jacksonville, fuck, they won 4 games this year with the roster and fucking with dickhead Urban Meyer.
And they beat my Super Bowl favorite.
Trevor Lawrence did not look bad at time. Same with the Houston Texas. They won some games at the end of the year. So I don't know, but I think the Giants' job is the best job to have out there with talent that they have on their team that they just hadn't gotten anything out of.
I don't know. Daniel Jones doesn't. I don't know. He doesn't excite me.
This fucking Jason Garrett's a horrible offensive coordinator. He was a horrible head coach, and that's the problem with the Giants. They got some talent. He's talented. He can run. He can throw. Give him some. They had tons of injuries all year long. Their whole wide receiver staff was out all year long. I don't think they're that bad. I think they need but boy, you had Deshaun Watson. Can you imagine if you traded Daniel Jones? And I don't know that the Texans want a quarterback in return because that kid they got, Davis Mills, did not look that bad.
So let's look at this. He was a white coach. He was a old white coach. Black, white, white, black, white, white. So 6-2.
Yep. They're not complaining about that though.
No.
She's just
not enough white coaches got fired.
She's just a race baby.
Who else would you fire?
If I was the NFL,
what other head coach would you get rid of to make this an even playing field? I mean, I don't think
Mike McCarthy's done a bad job.
You can't get rid of him. He's in the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's done a bad job. But everybody in Dallas Cowboy land, I'm telling you, if the Cowboys get beat this week, all you're going to hear about is they need to fire McCarthy.
How many more years are you giving Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll probably needs to go. I think he's served his time. He's got a good coach. He's won a couple Super Bowls. I mean, his record alone, it's kind of like Andy Reid's, Not comparing the two.
What about Harbaugh in Baltimore?
Their problem is they're stuck to Lamar Jackson, who's trash.
What about Stefanski in Cleveland?
I'd keep him. Cleveland don't remember back, but it wasn't too long ago they were 0-16 every year. They're competitive now.
Who else has missed the playoffs? What about Sean Payton?
They won't ever fire him, but he's another one. They got no fucking quarterback. It all comes down to quarterbacks. Look at the teams that miss the playoffs. It's quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are the problems.
I don't even know who the head coach is.
The best quarterback that didn't make the playoffs is Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Right? Second one is probably Russell Wilson.
And he could have gone to the playoffs.
Right.
If his dickhead head coach hadn't called that timeout.
Russell Wilson, same way. Yeah, he was but he did not play good this year. But talent-wise, Tua's no good. I mean, Tua's trash, I think. Who knows? Trey Lawrence is young also. Both of them are young. Carolina, a lot of people think Matt Rule should be fired. I don't think Matt Rule's a bad coach. I just think they're the same situation. They're not quarterback. They should have kept Teddy Bridgewater. He was better than Sam Darnold, it looks like. The Redskins, or whoever the fuck their team's going to be called now.
Ron Rivera.
They digressed this year a bunch. They really did not improve at all. Their defense had some injuries, but they just did not improve at all. They put all that money. They thought Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to help them. He's missed the whole season. That killed him.
I feel bad for that kid at Alabama. Blew his knee out. You're going to see more and more players just skip those fucking bowl games. And
The wide receiver?
And I don't blame them.
The wide receiver?
Yes.
He's still going to be a first-round draft pick.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get anything out of him this year.
Somebody will take him. He might be a second-round pick then, but I saw a deal that said he was going to be a first-round pick still.
You're going to see more and more players. If I was in that position, I wouldn't play.
If you're playing for national championship,
Deuces, bitch.
if you're playing in that deal, you probably do. But if you're just playing in the Prudential Bowl or something, yes. Kind of like the kid from Pittsburgh that didn't play, that Pickett kid, the quarterback. I don't blame him.
I'd sit out, even for a national title.
I wouldn't do that.
I'd give him the cheetah.
Now, if I was going to be a first-round draft pick like him, I would go get that insurance, and he probably did. You can get insurance for that game if you have a year ending or career ending, or if you're on the draft scale that you're going to be a top 20 pick and you fall and you're picked 60th, that they pay the difference in the first.
What did they say his injuries were?
I don't even know for sure. It's right there, Alabama wide receiver Smith. Not Devontae.
Not
Smith,
Devontae.
What was his name? Injury
update.
Jameson Williams. That was
Tore ACL. Out a year. 100%. You're not going to get anything out of him for a year. It is confirmed Alabama wide receiver Jameson Williams has suffered a torn ACL.
See what his Jameson Williams draft, what he's going in the mock drafts.
Okay. Not Mick. I had heard he was going to be a first.
They still have him first-round pick with the Saints.
That was in December.
Okay.
9th.
Go down to the next one. Andrew. It declares after his highlight
one?
that. Yeah, highlight that one. Is what it says.
Breakout.
Even after first-round draft pick, even after
says he's going to declare.
He did declare.
He's going to declare.
It says Williams suffered an ACL. He remains a projected first round.
I don't know.
Go up in just a minute.
Williams ranks number 8 and is considered
Overall.
the number 2 wide receiver in this class.
Go up, though.
Okay.
Go up a little bit more. Right. Go up a little bit more. A former 4-star prospect. Blah, blah, blah. Go down. Oh, he was playing with Ohio State. He transferred from Ohio State to Alabama.
Chasing that title. Look at what he got him.
Yep.
Blown out ACL. That's just too bad.
And a national championship ring. No, he didn't either. They lost.
Didn't.
That's right. You're right.
Even Neal, Alabama's best offensive lineman and potential number 1 pick. So it's been a while since we've seen a lineman go number 1. When are you going to do your fantasy?
I'm going to pick mine today.
So I'll just hang on to this until tonight when everybody else has turned it in. Then we'll get it notarized. I feel like I got a solid lineup. Keep that right over there for safekeeping. But I would not play in the bowl games.
So if Reese is here and Reese is a potential first or second round draft pick and he's playing in the national championship game and he's a quarterback, you're going to tell him to sit out, not play.
Reese, do the smart thing. Think about your future.
Even though you can buy insurance if he gets injured.
Think about your future, son.
See, I don't think so.
If you tear your ACL, it's gonna take 5 years off of your. Think about how long Brady would play if he hadn't torn his ACL. He'd play into his 70s. Now the poor guy's got a torn ACL from 10 years ago. It's knocked years off of his career.
No, it hasn't. Because he's not relying on his legs to make a living.
You think Brady wins the MVP?
No. Oh, I think Aaron Rodgers does.
I don't think so. He only threw 37 tutties.
And how many interceptions?
4.
What did Brady throw? 40 and 14.
Did he throw that many?
I don't know. I think that Rodgers has a better year. I think they ought to pick the damn MVP when the season's over.
43.
And his quarterback rating is not as high either as as Aaron Rodgers is.
I tell you who they should go after.
Who's that?
Big Dick Joe. He's done more with less.
Who should go for him?
He should be MVP.
No.
Big Dick Joe.
More with less?
Big Dick Joe.
Okay, hold on. More with less.
Yep.
Would you rather have Joe Mixon or Leonard Fournette?
Leonard Fournette.
Huh?
I said what I said, Jeff. I said what I said.
I would have Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon or Aaron Jones?
Probably Aaron Jones. Yeah, 100% Aaron Jones.
Jamar Chase
Or Devontae Adams. I'm taking Devontae Adams.
or Mike Evans?
Mike Evans.
No.
Over Jamar Chase.
No. Ty Higgins.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins or Chris Godwin?
Chris Godwin.
That one I probably would give you to. It's pretty close, though.
The thing that's going to kill Joe is he only threw 34 tutties to 14 interceptions. That's what's going to kill him.
Brady threw 43 and 12.
Yep.
37 and 4. I'm taking Tom Brady. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers.
I think if Aaron Rodgers had 40+ touchdowns, I think it's a shoe-in. But I don't think he gets it with 37 touchdowns. Is my opinion. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong because I want to see him win.
Look at the differences of two players. You got Jalen Hurts, 16 touchdowns and 9, and you got Kyler Murray, 24 and 10. Rushing yards, Kyler Murray had 423 yards. Well, he took a big step backwards this year. And we're on that list is Lamar Jackson.
He missed.
Well, I know. So did Kyler Murray,
games?
though.
16 and 13.
Yeah, 16 and 13.
$100 million man.
There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell. He got sacked 38 times. He got sacked more than Jimmy Garoppolo, more than Tyler Heineke, more than he got sacked the same amount of times as fucking Ben Roethlisberger did in less games. How does a guy with that kind of speed get sacked 38 times?
Probably because he's trying to do too much shit.
Yeah, not being a quarterback. He's horrible. Absolute trash. I got to pee.
Go ahead.
All right, let's get off football. I want to talk to you about something else.
Okay.
What do you think about the transgender swimmer at Penn State or Penn and being able to compete against the men in the compete against the women in the NCAA championships?
I don't think that any transgender should be able to compete in a physical sport against that sex. I think, and I've said this before, if you have XX chromosomes, you should compete against XX chromosomes. If you have an XY chromosome, you should compete against XY chromosomes. So if you are a biological male, you should not be able to compete against biological females. It's not fair, physically. Now, if you want to play somebody in chess or checkers or Scrabble, I'm fine with it. But if the deciding factor, especially if you've been a man your whole life and then at 20 years old you decide to transition and you've gone through puberty as a man, you shouldn't be able to compete against biological females. It's not fair. You've gone your muscle mass, you got more muscle mass. And I'm not knocking women in any form or fashion, but men is superior physically.
They had a
college swimmer, especially like on the extremes, like whenever you go to a college swimmer. Now, I'm not saying that there are not women out there that are more physically gifted than a man, because there are on the extremes. But you're talking about an extreme. You're talking about a college athlete that has now transitioned to a woman, and it's not fair. Like if you took me and put me in a swimming pool, well, a fucking college swimmer is going to beat me. If you put me against a college soccer player,
you put your foot in your mouth one time and you got that proven against you. Didn't you?
If you put me up against a college lacrosse player, woman's lacrosse player, she's going to beat me. But if you take a male college lacrosse player and put him on, what is it? Is it a field?
Yeah, they played lacrosse.
It's
played
a
on
lacrosse
a
field, not a court or anything like that.
I don't know what that's called, but a field. You swam against a collegiate swimmer one time because you said you could beat her, right?
It wasn't in an official size pool, but you know.
How did it turn out for you?
Well, it was a short race, so.
How did it turn out?
I'm more of a marathon swimmer.
So she toasted your ass. But
It wasn't. Listen, had it been official size, it might have been a different story.
she'd have really beat you then. Anyways, I read an article, and an Olympic swimmer come out and said, and I wish I'd have saved the article, said that this guy that's swimming for Penn or Shemale or Shim or whatever, the chick with the dick, whatever the hell it is, she used to swim on the men's team, I think, there, and transitioned over to the female, and said her times, said in a swimming pool, in a swimming race in the Olympics, the men swim 10% faster than the women do. Just the way it is. But this woman here, she's swimming 0.3 faster than the women do. Well, she's not. For the men, she wasn't good enough to be there, but she's a lot better than. She's going to shatter all the records.
Well, fuck, of course they are.
Because it's a man.
Leah Thomas, a 22-year-old transgender woman who swims for the University of Penn, is dominating in the pool this year. Of course.
First of all, Jeff Tracy, who writes for Yahoo, you need to get your nut checked, fucker, if you think that this is a real. I just can't believe they write this shit. Thomas assigned male at birth. Go ahead and go up there. You're going too fast. Thomas assigned male at birth competed on the men's team at Penn from 2017 to 20. At 3 years of getting his ass kicked, he realized that he was a woman. In 2019, in May, Shim began testosterone suppression therapy, and after the Ivy League canceled the 2021 season, she joined the women's team last fall as a fifth-year senior.
So not only is this individual so 22 now, when did in 19 they?
So when she was 20 years old,
she was 20 years old. You're well through puberty. You have been on a male swimming team and doing their off-season programs, which I'm assuming is tons of weightlifting, tons of, you're packing on muscle, competing in the men's for 3 years. And you can't tell me that 2 years being a woman, maybe that's what we ought to do.
Listen, well, hold on. I want to read the rest of this still. But by the numbers, Thomas won the 200-yard free by 7 seconds, the 500 by 14, and the 1,650 by 38 seconds. That means Shim was enough that he could get out of the pool, scratch his balls, and go get a hot dog and come back before the second person even come in there. While Thomas' broken records have made news, her relative times, and we're using her loosely, to the women's field are generally comparable to what his times were when he was a man's field. So it's a fucking guy racing against fucking girls that can't win the men's.
Right.
It's bullshit that they even, I can't believe we live in times where there's some fucker up there that thinks this is fair.
I think you should have to be that gender longer than you were. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, you should. You can't transition at 20.
If you're going to compete as a woman, you should. And if you're going to compete as a woman at 22 years old, you have to be a woman for 12 years. You have to have that. You have to be that gender longer than you were the other gender to compete at that level. So if you transition at 10, which we're seeing now, God help us all, you can compete in the women's in college.
Now this ain't just a one-time deal either, because if you read the whole the whole thing now. Thomas won 2 races at her final meet, or his final, whatever the fuck it is. Shim also lost 2 races to Yale's Isaac Hennigan, another transgender man who can't. Where are these fuckers coming out of the fucking woodwork? They're confused if they're fucking got a dick or not. Do you not think they get heckled?
No, not in today's world. Absolutely not. You would have fucking hate crimes and all sorts of shit.
You can't tell me the other fucking swimmer. You can't tell me the women swimmers. First of all, does she go to the women's fucking dressing room and shower with all them?
I'm sure. Or I'm sure she gets special privileges. Gets it all on her own. Gets a private suite.
It's bullshit.
Do you think that this person transitioned solely for the benefits in competition?
I don't. It's the most fucked up issue there ever been. I just can't believe we're at a place in our country where this is even acceptable. I mean, there's nothing about it that's acceptable. Nothing.
Look at how jacked they are.
Well, yeah, their fucking shoulders and shit. It's a fucking man.
Fucker.
Yeah, but if you put him next to, he's just a skinny, lanky person. That's what swimmers look like. Look at what's his name?
Oh, that's another one. Chinese person transitioned?
Yeah.
That was a girl competing as a guy? Is that what that is?
No.
Well, they don't have a shirt on.
Well, she ain't got nothing to show. It's a fucking guy.
I don't know, Jeff. Anyway.
It's a screwed up world, and it just continues.
It's not fair at all. But like I said, if these people want to compete in a mental game, by all means, have at it.
Where are the dudes at? Where are the women's libbers at? How do they accept this? There's nothing acceptable about this. They should be raising hell. You imagine your daughter working her ass off.
Be pissed.
To go to school, to the Olympics, and bust her ass to become an Olympic swimmer and gets kicked out and loses to this fucking guy here.
And not only that, do you think that this person took a scholarship away from a woman?
Yes.
Biological woman?
I want to know where the fucking dude swimmers are. They got to be making fun of her ass or his ass. I would be. Dude, you can't. You're fucking racing against women now.
He had to have had the old nip tuck. Look at what he's wearing. There's no bulge there. If that's an accurate picture.
Everybody around there has to be making fun of this dude behind his back.
I don't know.
So we used to make fun of, complain about racing against. This is what the article also said. It was talking about competing against the Eastern European countries, like East Germany. They were real bad about having doping for women, and their women athletes, they all look like fucking Clydesdale horses. But they would complain about it. It's not competing against other women. You're competing against, his times are still faster than all those were.
Right.
Because he's a guy.
Maybe that's our answer. Fuck it. We can't beat the Russians in doping. We'll just put a bunch of guys competing in the women's, and we'll just dominate them. Maybe that's it.
But what's track and field going to look like at the Olympics this year when you got fucking, Cleon Leon over there who, he decided why don't they just have it? So do gay people, can they compete in the women's side too? Or does it just have to be guys that are transgendering?
So that's interesting. What if you're gay and you're also, so here's my question. Are they just taking hormone blockers are they just taking testosterone suppressors, or do you have to have gone through the full take a dick off of me? Like our hormone is your hormones, is that what it is, or is it like I'm full, no meat and potatoes down there anymore?
I think that it's just you got to take some pills. I think what it is, it's people that can't compete, instead of just being able to know that you're not that good, just deciding to switch over. So let's say, I don't even know anybody playing college basketball right now, but let's say some guy that's playing, he's an All-American somewhere, decide, hey, I'm going to be a girl now.
So here's what this says. Athletes transitioning from male to female must declare their gender as female for a minimum of 4 years, demonstrate that their testosterone levels are below 10 nanomoles for a minimum of 12 months, and maintain those levels throughout the duration of their eligibility. So that says nothing about
getting your dick cut off.
That just means that I'm going to take that just means I'm going to take hormone blockers for however long, get my testosterone levels below 10 for a year, and then I can compete against the opposite sex.
What they need to have is a fucking non-binary Olympics, and nobody will watch it anyways.
Right.
Put that shit on there and let them all go fucking suck off each other and do what they want, and nobody gives two shits.
Yeah.
We are letting the freaks run the country right now. And I don't understand why we have to feel sorry for all of them. I just don't get it. If that's what you want to do, go live your life. I don't care who you sleep with, but quit shoving your shit down my throat,
Ooh, Jeff.
That sounds
Stanfield.
bad.
Don't shove your shit down my throat today.
But I don't understand why we have to include this in everything. I just don't know that many fucking people that are non-binary.
Look at this. We got a weightlifter.
Yeah.
Qualifies in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Transitioning. Laurel Hubbard. That's not fair at all.
No.
Because you've been a fucking power lifter your entire life, probably since high school.
You think you could whip Ronda Rousey now?
No.
You don't think so? I think you could.
I think
your
she has had a lifetime of throwing bodies around.
I don't think the strength is the difference.
It's all strength and technique.
No, you're stronger than she is.
But she's got the technique.
Well, she may have. I don't think she could. I don't think she could take a punch from a man. I really don't.
You're going to have to punch her first.
I think you could punch her.
I don't think so.
I think that you would be surprised how. I don't think you'd have problem whipping her ass. I really don't. Just because of strength. Because men are stronger than females.
Did you see this? What she did to that poor guy? This reporter wanted to be thrown by Ronda Rousey.
Well, he don't look like a fighter.
Well, he's probably not. But she's wearing fucking street clothes.
What would it be like to compete against someone who's been in the Olympics for judo? Someone who dominates.
She fucking crushes him. Oh, broke his fucking, just threw all of her weight right into his ribs.
See, he needs to bite her on the ass right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you would do. Then that pisses her off, so she really goes all in.
He's not even trying.
Oh, fuck. That hurts my dick. Every bit of her weight just drives into his fucking rib cage. That one got him.
Sorry, I felt my ribs crush.
Fucking dick.
I landed on my balls and my ribs.
You landed on my balls and my ribs. But no, I don't think that I could beat Ronda Rousey. She's still throwing bodies around. I think she's in the WWE now.
Oh, she's a wrestler now?
Yeah. Yeah, her time in the UFC.
People talk about some tough sumbitches. Those professional wrestlers.
Especially back in the day. Maybe not so much now, but like Jake the Snake and all them.
You don't think nowadays it's the same?
I don't think so.
I haven't watched TV wrestling in years since
tough individuals, but
Rock and Stone Cold.
But it's become just like anything else. I think they're monitoring concussions and everything else, just like the NFL is. But I think the sheer work schedule that these people had to go through back in the day was much tougher. They're monitoring injuries now, which, kudos to them. You can't have a whole lot of people with CTE running around. Just the sheer volume of days on the road that these people had to do.
There's not a lot of old wrestlers. A lot of them die from everything from drug overdoses to suicides to.
I think one of these guys said they wrestled 350 days out of 365. I mean, that's a lot of fucking matches.
We're gonna get that guy that was on here. Did he pass away?
I don't know. They all
Cowboy Jim
Who?
Cowboy Jim Bartell or Martell.
Never heard of him.
He's the guy that came and wrestled here in town that time. I'm gonna try to find out. I'd like to get a wrestler on here, an old wrestler. I think it'd be interesting.
But and now especially like a girl like Ronda Rousey and I don't watch wrestling either, but I don't think that the schedule is as demanding as it used to be.
That could be true,
but it's a lot of torture on your body.
It is that for sure.
You ready to go?
Yep, let's get off here. Thank y'all. God bless y'all. Have a great weekend. We got a big announcement coming up next week on our newest sponsor and a product with our name on it. Thank you very much for listening to us. God bless you and have a great day.
Go check out all of our great sponsors before you get out of here. Check out Gundog Outdoors, Bangtail Whiskey, Eyesight Drones, Stanfield Hunting Outfitter. Tune into the Looking Glass Duck Club podcast, Lucky Duck, Dirty Duck Coffee, Boss Shot Shells, Dive Bomb Industries, Pacific Calls, Shin Gear Waiters, and Steak Plains Meats.